my little rays, it's Ray from Rayro Studios, and today I will be discussing a topic that I've wanted to get into for quite some time now. But before I get into the video, I would just like to say thank you so very much for making me reach over 100 followers on both YouTube and TikTok. Never in my wildest dreams did I think over 200 people would care about my art so much that they would not only subscribe but like my videos. I don't really know if there's a good way to show you how much I truly do appreciate all of your love and support in the best way that I can, but trust me, I am going to try. But with greetings and thank yous out of the way, let's get into the video. Now, before anyone says anything, beginner artists, do not take what I'm saying as gospel. I am not the Jesus Christ of all art advice. I am simply just a person giving her opinions on art tips and art advice for other beginner artists. And I just want to be a bit more transparent with you guys because it just seems like everyone else who is giving art tips on this app is just copy and pasting other people's advice. One of those opinions is F color theory. That's right, I finally said it. The color theory trend is not the end-all be-all of all artists. You do not need to know it. Because I'm pretty sure it's already common knowledge that yellow means happy and cheerful, orange can mean excited or anxious, and red can mean angry and passionate. But I'm not talking to those type of people. I'm talking to the people that make other artists feel bad because they want to give their characters red magenta like pants with a blue shirt and yellow jacket. And some people will try to justify this hate as, there's too many colors, or, it's so bright. And to that I say, wow, tell me you were a beige mom kid without telling me you were one, and B, so, it's bright, it's colorful. Go watch Mr. Enter's animated atrocity series. I promise you find something worse. So beginner artists, don't stress about giving your characters perfectly matched color palettes every single time just because someone can't handle a yellow jacket with neon bright pants. Another tip I have is to trace, but not trace like this, trace like this, because A, this looks absolutely weird and hideous, and this helps you make more dynamic posing and helps you get into better wrist movements. It's also better from an artist learning point perspective or anyone that wants to make this their full-time career. You can customize this much better than you can this, don't you say? Another tip that I have is please use references. I promise you the people telling you that you're cheating by using references don't know how to draw a stick figure. I promise every single last one of you that my art got so much better when I actually started using references. Unreferenced photo, a referenced photo. Unreferenced photo, a reference photo. Do you see a pattern? But if it still makes you very uncomfortable to use other people's faces and designs as references, once you reference that photo enough times, just use your own art as a reference for future designs. That's what I do anyway. Another tip I have is that artists, I know it's painful, I know it's excruciating, but you're gonna have to draw things you don't like. And I'm not saying draw things that make you uncomfortable, but you know good and well that you're gonna have to draw that background or learn how to do hairstyles that aren't puffballs eventually. And you know, like I said, references are key. Use as many references as possible if you're trying something new. And I promise you, if it doesn't come out right the first time, don't beat yourself too hard about it, because I promise you, the people you idolize have trashy art at the beginning as well. I mean, heck, look at my art. It has improved a lot. Another tip I have is to try different types of things to go with your art style. I mean, you don't know if it's gonna look good unless you try it. So, for example, I usually do black line art. No coloring on the outline, only on the inside. But recently, to get a more mystical and magical feel for some art pieces, I have been doing colored outlines. And I can safely say I think it looks pretty good. especially when I combine the two together. So maybe try adding different elements into your style. Like, hey, if it looks bad, then erase it and do something else. And if it looks good, well, hey, now you have a new feature to your style that makes it more original. This tip is more specific for people who use tablets and phones of all varieties. Lie in your bed with your back against the wall and your legs and knees supporting your device. I promise you it's better for your back in the long run. And yes, the heels of your foot might get pins and needles, but I promise you a few moments of pins and needles in the heel is much better than being the Hunchback of Notre Dame when you're in your 20s. Now this tip is to help with better line art. First, you go on a different layer from your outline and just swiftly do it. Just swiftly make that brush stroke. Don't think about it, just swiftly do it. Trust me, your line art does not need to perfectly match your sketch layer. It doesn't. I promise you it will look just fine if the positions are off just a bit. This is a tip for how to make things either look shiny or glowing. First, for the shiny bit, you select 3 colors: the darker version of the color, the regular version of the color, and the extra light version of the color. Then you want to use your lasso tool to lasso the entire area you want to color. After that, you get rid of your outline layer and color in the lasso layer. Then when it starts to look a little bit like this, you blur it, and if it still doesn't look bright enough for you, you can either add a white or a lighter shade of the color you were using. Now if you want to make things look like they're glowing, here is an example that you can use. First, we're going to be using stars. If you're going to need to use a light shade of blue, not super duper light, but not super duper dark, kind of like this color right here. Then you're going to add your stars, which I'm just going to use white for simplicity's sake. Once you've done that, you're going to go on your next layer and then grab your handy dandy airbrush tool, or just dye that layer completely black and make it transparent. But if you're going to use your airbrush, dye that one black and gently graze it around the canvas. We don't need it to be pitch black, we just need it to be dark. Then once you're finished with that, you grab your eraser tool and start polka dotting each individual star. Yes, it's very tedious, but it needs to be done. And once it's finally finished, you then go to your handy dandy blur tool and start blurring all of the edges of each individual dot, and your thing should look like this. I really hope this video helps some beginner artists out there, but at the end of the day, every art process and art journey is different, and that's okay. The only accomplishment that the art should be achieving is to make one person happy, and as long as that one person is you, then you are succeeding. Your art pieces are gorgeous, you're all amazing, and I'll see you all the next time. Bye-bye!